Hello, Starfarer. So you want to understand humans? That's a challenge even they haven't quite figured out themselves. Explaining humans is like trying to sketch the wind or get a cat to agree with itself. It's an impossible task, but for you, I'll give it a shot. First, forget about order. That would be misleading. Humans don't move in straight lines. They stumble forward in loops, take detours, trip over their own feet, and rush ahead even when the wall is right in front of them. They are messy constellations, fireworks exploding in broad daylight, gold prospectors panicking at the sight of a puddle. Water, for instance. They are made of water, a lot of water, but not the calm kind, a restless sea shifting between tempests and deceptive stillness. They laugh until they cry until they laugh, fall in love like stepping into a trap, and drift apart like ships lost at sea. Maybe that's their true nature, to be many things at once. If I had to sum them up in one word, I'd say this: paradox. They crave freedom but love rules. They burn with curiosity but cling to their beliefs. They believe in eternal love and swipe right in 3 seconds. They long for change but order the same dish at their favorite restaurant. Humans dream of adventure, travel and thrilling encounters, and then spend 15 minutes scrolling through Netflix before rewatching a series they've already seen 3 times. They fantasize about leaving everything behind to live in a cabin in the woods, but panic when the Wi-Fi is down for more than 10 minutes. They build cities that reach the sky and then vacation to escape what they've built. They invented the internet and social media to connect across continents, but avoid eye contact with their next-door neighbor. They talk about saving the planet while ordering strawberries in winter. They cry at sad movies, but crack up at a cat failing a jump with tragic dignity. They love reading YouTube comments just to see if anyone else had the same profound thought. And when they do, they feel less alone. They make New Year's resolutions and abandon them before the month is over. They sign up for a gym membership and stop going by January 15th. But they won't cancel because it keeps them motivated. They commit to eating healthier, buy organic vegetables, and let them slowly die in the fridge before tossing them out with guilt. They say they want to be happy, yet they spend their lives chasing something else. They crave with wild intensity, but once they finally get what they longed for, they wonder why they wanted it so badly in the first place. They are perpetually searching, never satisfied, obsessed with the next dream, the next thrill, the next escape. And yet, they know how to stop. A child running through the rain, an old man humming a forgotten tune, a hand resting on another in silence. In these fleeting moments, they expect nothing. They don't plan, they don't regret. They simply exist. Finally. Then their phone vibrates, reality pulls them back, time starts slipping away again. Time. Humans have a strange relationship with it. They claim they never have enough, yet spend hours scrolling aimlessly, searching for a lost remote or watching DIY videos when they've never held a drill in their life. They're always in a hurry. They say, "I'll be there in 5 minutes," when they're still in their pajamas. They chase time like someone running after a train that's already left. They want everything faster, one-day deliveries, double-speed movies, messages reduced to emojis. And yet they adore slow motion in films, the kind where rain falls in suspended droplets, where eyes meet just before a kiss. They say life is short, but procrastinate as if it's endless. They swear they'll do it today, then push it to tomorrow. They install apps to get more organized, then spend hours organizing their apps. They count down the days to vacation, then spend those days wondering why vacations fly by too fast. They wish time would freeze when they're happy and speed up when they're in pain. But time never listens, and when they finally look back, they wonder where it all went. Humans have created magnificent things: music, poetry, 4-cheese pizza, symphonies that bring tears, paintings that capture the invisible, books that turn pages into windows into the soul. but also some questionable things. Traffic jams where they yell at people who can't hear them. Targeted ads that seem to read their minds before they've even spoken. They invented the alarm clock and then spent their entire existence trying to make it less traumatic. At night, sleep apps designed to help them rest send anxiety-inducing notifications about how they're not sleeping enough. They invented TikTok, an app where they can learn quantum physics, how to make a perfect soufflé, or the history of the Roman Empire, but mostly end up watching a raccoon steal a hot dog at 3 a.m. I almost forgot the coffee machine, the one that rudely wakes up the whole building at 6 a.m., yet somehow remains their most beloved morning ritual. And then there are the mysteries. They sneeze when they eat tiramisu. No one knows why, but they keep ordering it. They yawn when they're tired, and yawning is contagious, even if they weren't tired in the first place, possibly the only epidemic they accept without resistance. They shake their leg under the table when they're stressed, excited, or impatient, but find it unbearable when someone else does it. They look up to the left when reminiscing about childhood summers, and up to the right when lying to their boss, as if their own eyes were betraying them. What else can I tell you about humans, dear starfarer? They are capable of the worst and the best, capable of hating for no reason with the same intensity as they love, of fighting for ideas they barely understand, and sacrificing themselves for a stranger without expecting anything in return, of building walls to protect themselves, then, a few decades later, tearing them down in the name of unity. They write poems that make people cry and social media posts that make eyes bleed. They carve cathedrals and scribble insults on park benches. They compose symphonies and invent ad jingles that lodge themselves into your brain without permission. They behave like a virus to their own planet. They dig, exploit, consume, as if they were alone here, as if Earth belonged only to them. They uproot forests to make way for parking lots, warm the oceans, wipe out species before even learning their names. But they also create beauty. They set aside vast lands to protect a bird they may never see. They fight to save rivers they will never drink from. They rebuild cities after every disaster, sometimes more beautiful than before. They are poets and accountants, dreamers and warriors, scientists who explain gravity and children who jump in puddles just to see what happens. They destroy recklessly, but rebuild with passion. They lose themselves often, but sometimes they find their way back. And then there's this everyday dance, the ritual of saying hello. A universal custom with 1,000 variations. They shake hands firmly, bow respectfully, pat each other on the back like old comrades, or kiss on the cheek. Once, twice, 3 times, sometimes 4, sometimes not at all. It depends on the country, the city, sometimes even the neighborhood. The rules are blurry, shifting, and yet everyone pretends to know them by heart. They toss out casual "how are you" without expecting an answer. They hesitate between a handshake and a kiss on the cheek, creating that awkward limbo where no one knows what to do. They sign off their messages with "take care, drive safe, let me know when you get home," as if these words alone could hold back the unpredictability of existence. And despite their differences, despite their languages and customs, they try, somehow, to understand one another, to tolerate, to coexist. Sometimes it works, and that's when you get the Olympic Games, the International Space Station, a hand reaching out in the midst of disaster. That's when you get John Lennon singing "Imagine" in a stadium, thousands of voices merging into one shared dream. When Rostropovich plays his cello among the ruins of the Berlin Wall, the music echoing where, just the day before, barriers stood tall. When crowds gather in silence before Notre Dame in flames, or strangers who've never met pass buckets of water to save a village from burning. When, for a fleeting moment, humans forget what separates them and become a single beating heart. And sometimes it doesn't go so well, and shame keeps me from putting those moments into words. But really, how could they be any different? Because, dear starfarer, humans fumble in the dark. They stumble over their own ignorance, moving forward blindly, hoping the road will appear beneath their feet, because deep down they don't know. They spend their lives asking who they are, where they come from, where they are going. As if the answer were hidden under a rock or written in the stars, they search in books, in religions, in songs that tighten their chests. They ask the elders, the poets, the algorithms, because at their core they feel small. They walk upon a blue planet, a speck of dust suspended in a solar system. A solar system floating in the vast ocean of a galaxy. A galaxy that is just one among billions. So they lift their eyes to the sky, caught between awe and terror. They wonder if any of this means something, if they are here for a reason, or just by accident. Sometimes the thought crushes them, other times it sets them free. And yet, they keep going. They love, they fight, they dream, they stumble, they fall, they try again. They move forward with the clumsy energy of beings who know they are mortal, but pretend to forget. Even through exhaustion, through pain, through illness, they fight. Sometimes against their own bodies, sometimes against a fate that feels too heavy. They hold on to fleeting moments, to familiar faces, to whispered promises. Sometimes they win, sometimes they don't. But they always try. They are like tiny boats on a raging sea, yet somehow they hold their course. No compass, no map, just hope as their only guide. So starfarer, you wanted a user manual. Bad news, there isn't one. Humans aren't meant to be understood. They're meant to be experienced. Now the real question is, do you dare take the journey?